Well, well, well. One configuration. And a corner at me. And a metaphor. Remains as the number one subject to study today, does it not? Correspondence circle is up to concern of others who seem to have been interested in Freemasonry well before there was the pandemic. Due to the last 5 years of extra haul going on towards the fraternity, that ironically happens at its lesser meeting regulation rate, sort of not even. Frankly, disturbing as a general community from where standpoint perspective speaking. I happen to be a member. You know what I mean? It's been a long time ago. It was 18 when I started. I've been doing it after high school graduation year. So, I didn't spend a long time investing or reinvesting and doing lots of monetary balance related. And I did merchandise, but under guardianship as a minor. I could not levy any of my boxers, let's put it like that. You know what I'm saying, and know it well. So it is that I simply replenished the value of merchandise as we learned about the pandemic. That is just going to be an overhaul of an exaggeration one nation is going to make to try and skip out on the Banjo Charter provisions. Rumor. Broadcast journalism, school means jail out. Yeah, I started computer programming, switched later. The ironic caveat to that is, when I returned to college at 40 years of age, this was 2020, and also the systematic semester upon which the pandemic encountered the campus was attending. So, with much of my education retrospective background centers me around the hybrid research studies. Now, ironic again is that over 40 years of age as a freshman, having something surround me that really does cripple the entire human species, and puts to danger barriers beyond, because of social distancing, lessening the competency rate reflected on elite auspices. Those who have, like me, retorted to college, a very branding, polishing set of magic letters 3 that belong to, the Rotary chapter of Phi Theta Kappa, which was inducted and pledged in that year, 2020. So I got a lot of raw, not even to make it a novelty, it was rare materials relating archaeological deeds. You have an idea, and I knew it, because the pandemic was an inevitability or airborne description label that messaged it out to most of us, and so, there's a lot of bigger deal that they're willing to make over broadcasting and radio, because college Greek lets us have a larger value calculating than before the pandemic, as tandem with Freemasonry. Each as a fraternity, and with the conundrum supposition that the intramural societies levy the other society, highly. And in the redemption to college, I altered from the traditional North American Western education troop to. It's a troop of a unit, and I've learned it before. Spanish, when we talk here from the East. I had tried Spanish. I'd taken Spanish a couple times in my grade school career journey along in. I'd also finished as an honor roll student in my grade school career at A.B. honor roll and with a B in Italian. Which trade on Spanish with Italian. Now, interesting, transcend, went to college, returned, figured something out south, because we're on radio within a decade after high school in Sound City Studios Incorporated, collaborated with Nobleman Entertainment Inc. and the Surfers of franchise that often members also broadcasting live with me now on the line. Yeah, so I went into a review of a master production work, in particular broadcast digest. We meant them for articles, of course, in the genre. The universal industry had cumulative purposes for the production of manufacturing. Factories reveal later on royalties approved. Compliment Sigma Alpha Pi, the accredited National Honor Society, which was inducted in 2021, and over which I've protected, verbatim, all of the leadership guild positions there in the three-tier cybersecurity framework constructed and to fight data capping, or of course the wisdom of our dedicated gardeners who are contributors in the charity mission today. We do, everyone, at least me, speaking on behalf, if it's a possibility of that, me in the metaphysics with a doctoral degree, here in a review over regenerating. Simply because of a placebo, I would be looking at the prospect catalyst to be the placebo effect metaphor, because of me home office is full of clients. I can't find much of a customer because radio syndication is scoring them for a better health bill reflection than what in person, face to face with a doctor is. Whether that's an AI debate for another political platform, or if it's sociology in theory, I'm not quite sure. But as a metaphysician, in the School of Martial Arts, as an instructor, also as a student, admire the 21 precepts in collaboration with the United Nations conundrum. If it is a conundrum. Because there I've been able to place decree on the college street lectures, accepting the charge to become an educator. So now, and after, Aristotle's reasoning become the very pages of subject and discussion at metaphysics. I really like the way there's only 8 houses chapters in my local community. That means in the Division 2, which I am a leader in the Public Relations Committee capacity, primarily, scoring over half of what it is to divide that. Wherein I would rather contribute as usual, and as advised by the Tallahassee Community College chapter of Sigma Alpha Pi, the National Society of Leadership and Success, the nation's largest and only accredited honor society. This means my college class credits came from participatory work in the voluntary endeavor of me. In addition, we're attaching that to onboarding the lifelong membership status, leadership competency, right? That accredits the philosophy stones. I want to call them more of Merlin scriptures, metaphor, but the third chapter on college university cases, being in the community a desire to in person meet with Freemasonry members is too far out of post-college educational scope where Freemasonry directly is lying. We can't really elate it because we can't be transparent or wild or all solid. On H3 sides of that one again, I could learn a lot more about it. But I'm a good old Scot, so as I say, I'm just with the jolly rod to make city workers. Yeah, and to hear real nature word, and I didn't want to move. Get your white luggage, you know, because it's an ordinary walk up the China Gate. You can't get into sigma with the pi underneath an alpha, mathematically speaking. Now to geometry, the geometry is going farther because it's a circle and we do symbolically, what's it complete? We can't input or get anything out of it. We can make instrumental use of it. And that's if we transcend as optimists, not pessimists. So that's the reason why there is a standing data in sarcasm columns that are constructed in the foundation on the Mount Olympus that does symbolize hope for the humanities' ambiguous field of review, research studies, generally centering the circles of archaeological land sites already dug before. I get a little bit sensory motor as a doctor of metaphysics when I start to outlook towards the horizon, be it at the sea, or at the livestock stage. Metaphor with no content in the right pick. The reason why is, rather like me fight, I would like to use it to make me a good, stronger warrior later, versus to track the old males and a lot more stop checking the world of a victor all of that. There's a lot into that value. I don't mind searching. There's so much sediment that's lying in a dig already gone over. It's returned to at about half the rate, let's estimate it. If there are no credentials for archaeology project, don't try to record it, send it over to the scientist laboratory, and stand on the very piece of master's piece in the making weight. Because in the making weight, operative masons are going to want to cherish it more than anyone else is going to, with the immediate value taken as a naked eye to it, as they proclaim and profess to a status of at least the first degree, retrospective or like the result I take from many. The bigger martyr metaphor here is the deliberate self-defense protecting those who are vulnerable, handicapped, or disabled members. They can't truly handle the college philosopher's stone under what's social media platform, virtual live conference pressure, splitting of what's already a habitated memory platform for them as it is, which is the decree beyond the Microsoft computer sequence. At least according to my latest data, tabloid, items in vitamins, the Rhythmic Time Award, but it does have a nice charm to it. If you want to read score 850, that's the way. Do me a favour, not tonight your correspondence, Julie Dial, to 448 241 6236, and it's still the 2076 for the 2026 annual transactions reflection, doing that speculative masonry aspect of favour or a deal that radio broadcasters today just simply don't have time to exhaust the public audience long enough to do, which would, by the way, devise their attention span, which is random, is it not? Reflecting on the fact that if we have discussions to make with any professional auditors and not professional audition entries, we shall be able to convene the first degree of Freemasonry over them who are just losing the understanding mode in which we take when we are to relish principles in our mores in society. Furthermore, to conquest a broader view of Freemasonry rituals and documents, particularly alluding to the allegory of Masonry. Now, once I got a whole stack with a gold, willing to risk and harm, I can't give them a good walk a day. They'll heavy hook and then underneath. Temperances are not going to be able to marshal them out of proper correspondences. Or will monitor me. The difference in the Gallimatian standing apprentices in the first degree on strongholds work, or the reasons or providences will to allow me Scott reading from Bandana Lodge 3041 right now with a clock handkerchief for the Grand Lodge to my son Captain HP. Verbatim, don't you know? Because if I hold this in your heart, right, so we're not right. Simply cutting around edges is the only way I can find metaphysics. To imply a circle is manipulatable without ever disclosing a variable or demolishing one into an extravaganza might be eye. To research it furthermore, we don't want to bleed the placebo effect over the placebo. This is not going chronologically according to archaeology in the major study fields colleges know. Reporters, media press, sculptors, right? Chaldeans, Spartans, Romans, nomads, proficiency. This is what I've got in return from a research submission to the Way to Happiness Foundation International regarding the underlying major field event subject, Table to Conversing, a discussion debate on reflection broadcast Dr. Journalism live, and that is bringing human rights to life, youth to human rights, which is very reverse psychology majors methodologically assert in about 30 minutes. But in the meanwhile, I just chill, as you can see, having returned again was spoken on earlier returning to college at 40 years of age, and having a chance to again endeavour a foreign language, we chose British English significantly at the pandemic because it was not on the first semester course registration terminology. That's how I was enrolling in British English language proficiency credit or equivalent. So I spelled verbal to School of Psychology, Queensland University, Channel Archives in the International Australia, yeah, and the University of Queensland placebo effect major professional course. I might say so. In any little commercial, a bulletin will broadcast and you can get on a effect. You know, like a woodpecker, very fast and precisely knows so fast. The flick it makes us look vision, and you accept it. We're not. This is what we've done with the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, Banjo Charter, First Degree for Masonry, reporting on the various assemblies, corresponding supervised professionals, reflecting on me after a while of a regular meeting scored across the general spectrum of a membership that may obtain on a constancy, might I say. And without an integrated filter, more proliferated vocabulary choices to Eastern Sanskrit professionals that is to sequence adequacy with replay or rerun. So if we don't speak one language that molds one particular culture to information, that's one step towards the first degree in the doctorate of metaphysics. Noticeably, my own lexicon is a lot more transparently important to me than the substance chemical equal to it. I know how hot of a cloud makes substance period of mountain time, that to a poem would line that off to a seat of release, to hear a reveal later on how severe it with 5 degrees proficiency that I make about it. In retrospective, I have no doubts. Respectively, to the first corridor of admonishing Christ, the ritual symbolism, I attempt to pretend. General conversation is not meant to expose or reveal allegory, by the way. As applied masonry and Freemasonry is. So a very easy coast in to the actual conversation is what each Freemason is going to be expecting to return to his place on his own Royal Charity meal under their British Land Foundation, back to their philosophy and what it costs them a year to make, which they obviously keep making members instead of imported metal cars or remote key chain holding, etc. I don't think that's going to be a bargain or warrant for any regular meeting government composite lodge, assembling just the main factors of what could be substance to present us for psychology, and not for psychiatry review, to take care of his old ancient car 19th meeting, with no problem at all to the merchandise merchants, factory owners who harbor scrap metal or junkyard, for those who've already equity value scales high enough in schemas that we psychology majors are aware and respectful of sociologists in theory to be an academic investigation of events, so that they wouldn't bar us any moment of note to mention one way or another regarding case files compiling onto information mostly these days in the modern institutions that will protect Masonic organizations, even the Illuminati, Masonic lodges and Masons, like the General Nathan, a host of cavalry jargon they themselves published online to subscribe those to whom of which they would not care to have premise terms of discussion in the Freemasonry. Compliments of there's a host of college universities that are sponsoring the Greek societies to broadband and publicly mesh over this particular comment or reply to a comment. So media studies, I'll review this later on in broadcast and entertainment media credentials, the broadcast journalism major. Let's call him reference from a computer programming major. All set precedents, status quo at the pandemic in review, adverse to reflection over the steps to leadership and the components to the leader, and an ideal worthy endeavor for which I will aid or assist my fellow member in this whole world. Great society, Mother Goose, Grand Lodge of a Mason House. Located near you maybe, or maybe not, but if you got your syndicate plugged in, you have a nice version of the New England Ancient Eastern African American Master version of Freemasonry, where it is not the jolly good company club to join, as it label of fraternity, claim the cruel true royalties of old losers who do not really deserve Freemasonic Foundation, the right to be at pledge status on credits that all famous students outside of the Greek lecture standing. And other sorts of this misuse of higher or elite status, disposition, right? Nothing personal because we're voluntary here. And we like to say that not ever again, you know what I mean? So without being spoken in not one word of a type of being spoken, do not make it that clear. As a great blood man speaking here, mate, do I have to make a label about war bloody to start to spit out of my mouth? Didn't I? Expect that? Have I used an automatic tool and hit you over your skull with me word? Have I drawn an arrow and shot through your women's heart to speak what I bloody feel like speaking? Have I arranged you for a civil arrest to have your same lost tray your belly and romantic with sent to the bloody landfill for religion so you can eat it with feet in a stock truck just to make a word over my comment? Have I? I spoke it and that's all I've done. I didn't expect any respectful response. I didn't expect anyone with my spoken word. Speaking is a vile gift. It's the very gift of a man, and no one has an account on it. Do you understand me? Before I close Metaphysics Council again. Do you understand metaphysics is not your wallet? Do you understand that your wallet is not my concern? Do you understand that for your own sake and not for me? Then continue to study reviews and articles when concerning thy own personal behavior pattern, where the grounds of metaphysics are busy at ancient study, not your auntie's storage. Good day, mate.